State of Israel is located on the eastern shore of the Mediterranean Sea. The country borders the Gaza Strip, the West Bank, Lebanon, Syria, Jordan, and Egypt. Israel's territory has historically been a magnet for great powers, from the Romans to the British. For a Mediterranean power, Israel can serve as a strategic land bridge, and for an Eastern power, control of Israel is necessary to secure its flank. Israel contains parts of 4 distinct topographical regions. The Negev is an extension of the Sinai Desert and accounts for more than half of Israel. The coastal plain begins in the Gaza Strip and extends northwards to the border with Lebanon. The hill region extends from the foothills of Mount Hermon in the north to south of Jerusalem. The Jordan Rift Valley follows the length of the Jordan River and continues down to the Red Sea. Israel also claims the western two-thirds of the Golan Heights, a strategic plateau. The country's core is in the coastal plain and the hill region. Over 3 million of Israel's approximately 8 million inhabitants live in Gush Dan, or the greater Tel Aviv area. Israel's primary geographic challenge is its lack of abundant resources combined with its lack of strategic depth. Its narrowest point is just 9.3 miles wide. Israel currently has the ability to defend itself, but must maintain a posture of constant military readiness. Advances in water desalination technology have helped address water scarcity issues, and relatively large offshore gas field discoveries at Tamar and Leviathan have improved Israel's access to natural gas. Overall, however, Israel is still a resource-poor country. As a result, Israel historically has depended on the support of a great power patron, and often must balance relations with regional powers as well. Any serious cracks in internal unity can be taken advantage of by foreign powers. In the past, this has resulted in direct subordination or outright destruction.
He said, now let's start talking about the pipeline. So we know that, hold on here. We know that the European Union needs to diversify. So the question is, what are they going to do? They need to go to another place to get their natural gas or liquefied natural gas requirements met. So I want to bring up this. These are the proposed pipelines. All right, now, okay, so I'm going to talk about this briefly. We have a couple things that we need to pay attention to. Number one, we're trying to get, the goal is to get the liquefied natural gas into Europe. That's the first thing we need to pay attention to. The second thing we need to pay attention to is that these proposed natural gas pipelines intersect in Syria. Okay? The third thing that we need to pay attention to is that this natural gas reserve is right here in the Persian Gulf. And we're going to talk about this, but a portion of it is controlled by Iran and a portion of it is controlled by Qatar. Okay, so we're going to focus on that now. The portion of the field that is controlled by Iran, the pipeline that they propose is called the Iran-Iraq-Syria pipeline, and this pipeline is Russian-backed. Okay? Then there's the Qatar-Turkey proposed pipeline, and this pipeline is U.S.-backed. Now, one more thing that we're going to talk about is just outside of, in the eastern Mediterranean, off the coast of Israel, was the second largest, or possibly just as large, the Leviathan gas reserve, and they have a proposed pipeline that goes straight into Turkey that way. Okay, so we have three competing possible natural gas reserve fields or pipelines into Europe that are now on the table. All right, so that being said, let's look at this one. Now this one is like I said, off the coast of Qatar. Now the South Pars portion is controlled by Iran. The North Dome portion of the reserve is controlled by Qatar. This is underneath the Persian Gulf, and here is the divide. Let's look at it another way. Okay. Here is the field. Let's go take it to here. Okay, map of Qatar's North Field. Look here, maritime border of Qatar and Iran. Okay, so here, let me just, to belabor the point, once in green, that portion is controlled by Iran, which is Shia. Now, this portion is controlled by Qatar, which is Sunni. Okay. Now, let's continue. Okay, now this is a view of the Israeli proposed gas line. Now this is from the Leviathan natural gas field that they are saying is as large or larger than the North Dome South Pars gas reserve off Qatar. Okay, so this is the proposed natural gas pipeline. You can see that they're going through disputed zones in Lebanon, staying outside of the Syria's economic zone, passing through Cyprus and getting into Turkey. All right, so that is that. Okay, so let's go back and talk about this again, and we're going to focus in on these proposed pipelines. So these pipelines, if you remember, we took it from. I'm now going to draw on this map and show you what is in play here. Remember, we're trying to get to Europe with these pipelines. So let's take it first. Green, I'm going to do in black. I'm going to do this oil reserve here, and then in black here, I'm going to do this oil reserve here. I'm sorry, not oil, natural gas. All right, now, in red, the proposed Qatar-Turkey pipeline is going to go like this. That is the Qatar-Turkey pipeline. Something like that. Now, in green is going to be the Iranian-Iraqi pipeline. That way. Now, in blue is the Israeli proposed pipeline. That way. All right, so let's now talk about this for a second and lay this out. In green, okay, this is the Iran, Iraq, Syria pipeline. All right. Now this pipeline, this pipeline is Russian controlled. Okay. It is going through Shia controlled territory. Okay. Now, this Qatar, Turkey pipeline is it's U.S. It's not. I don't know if it's U.S. controlled or what it is, but it's in the U.S. Sphere of influence for sure. And this is it is U.S. backed. We can say that. Now,